So this is from a small village in County Cavan, mountugent, County Cavan. It's a small rural village in County Cavan. And they've been having a bit of problem. AO has kind of been a bit of an arsehole to them, and I'll be totally honest, AO the company. So basically, I don't know if it's a 5G mask or what is it, but it's basically some foam mask. That's as far as I can trust to it. I did check it up with Cavan County Council. They said it's some foam mask, and that's as best that I can get. I think it is 5G. It could be. I might be wrong in saying. But again, prove me wrong. If I am wrong, I'm wrong. But here's the thing: AO didn't cooperate with the community around in Mount Nugent. Mount Nugent is a small village, and they didn't go to any. But they didn't go to the Tidy Dance groups. They didn't go to any of the groups and ask, would you mind if we put this mask here in this place? No, not one time did AO go to anybody in the village and ask. I even know somebody from Mount Nugent, and they said they never heard of anybody from AO going around to any house knocking and saying, would you be in favour, would you mind if we put a mask up and ask it? They didn't bother, they just went ahead and said, you know what, and this is the thing where I said, and I looked into it, and then I goes out, actually, when I'm just talking about it, which is why I want to talk about it too, because I heard about it, and the Anglo South covered it today. And it's to do with a 12 metre, it's not 12 metres high, and under 12 metre, it's supposed to be under 12 metres, and so they don't need permission really from the county. You don't really need authority, I suppose, planning permission or whatever, to put it up. And basically they have every right to put it up, more or less, what I'm trying to say. And basically, people who didn't confer with the local community went to that, they didn't ask. And this is just typical. They take their own the place and they can do whatever they want there. Because again, it's up to the local community, it's not because they don't have to live beside it. As they said themselves, many people in the village, they said it's a disgrace that nobody from AO did bother to go out and to consult with the community, even if they did over online. Like again, there's no harm in them from some big cut in Dublin from AO getting onto the computer, and going and talking to the local community in Mount Nugent and saying, what's the problem? Why do you not want it? Or what can we do? Do you not? How many people don't want it? Etc. 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 And they don't want it. They know what they want to do up. Because again, Mount Nugent is an old town. It's an old town. There's a load of old buildings. The same as many towns in Ireland. In Cavan, my apologies. Has loads of old buildings. And obviously the tidy towns do a lot of community development. Mount Nugent is a huge history in the tidy towns and things like that. And they want to pay up this electric place. They don't want a huge mask. And that's what the tidy towns group there said. There's many other things I could say about this. But again, it's totally wrong. That first of all, I don't think they need, again, what I tried to say there, under 12 metres, I don't think they need planning permission. As far as I can gather, again, I set off a request to Cavan County Council to see what they would say. Basically, they said the same as what they said in the Anglo South article. Basically, I was given the same information. So it's basically just the same. It's just about that, they did receive a good lot of objections. And the Anglo South, they did receive, in total now, I think they say, 54 objections. In the Anglo South one, they said 48 objections, but I think it's 54. That's what I got. 54 objections in the community. This is a very small community. It's not a big city or town. It's a very, very small rural community. And they don't want it, and that's it for that. They don't want it. I don't think anybody really wants it. As far as I can gather, I think everybody in the town is against it. It's a very small town. It's not a big town. And obviously I do support them, because again, it's up to the local communities. It's not up to the local authorities or to AO and to bully anybody around. Because again, it'd be different if AO came along and asked them first and said, there's no harm in happening or whatever. I assume it's a 5G tower. Again, I assume it's a 5G tower. But again, there's no harm in having it or whatever. But they didn't consult. They just went ahead and said, we're going to fire this up here. We don't care. We don't care about the community and everything. That's the wrong way of going about it. Again, I'm sure I hope that Trevor Smith, a county councillor up that way, has been talking about it. I haven't heard what he said about it yet. But hopefully they do resolve this. Hopefully the community gets what it wants, and I'm in favour of the community. Again, I don't support the big companies or anything like that bullying a community around, because again, I assume, and again, I don't mean to take the situation into light or anything like that. But I assume that AO probably will go ahead and do it. I highly that they're going to listen to the community. But again, there's always, you notice when people do speak up, when a lot of people do speak up, because I often see in my case when I'm here, and when talking about issues, when communities stand together and they're very strong, and the determined, again, if they're determined, they don't back down. Usually companies get very scared and usually they don't do what they have to do. But show Mountugent again. I say they probably will do it some night as they did to the O'Reilly house in Dublin. Probably the wedding at 6:30 in the morning might put it up at 6:30 in the morning. I wouldn't be surprised, wouldn't put it past them. But we wait and see. We really will wait and see what happens. But I'll keep you updated on this. Again, I'll see what else you can find out about it. I actually write that down now. I have to check. So it's a 12 metre mast. As far as, again, I probably do assume under the regulations, because I did hear something like that before. If it's a pole or if it's a structure, it has to be under 12 metres. But just still high enough, and it does, in my opinion, it does need permission. It does need planning permission. It needs to go through the local authorities. It really does. So we wait and see what happens there. But I actually will look into. I actually didn't contact there, so I probably should contact there and see what they have to say about it. So I see what they say, but I hardly let to get anything off them. But I contact them and see what. It's no harm in saying, I stand with the people, Matt Nugent, and I'd stand with them on this, and I think should we consider this idea or whatever what they call it. Because again, people Mount Nugent don't want it, and they're entitled to say what they have to say, and they're entitled to their opinion, and entitled because it's their village. It's not ours village. It's their village, and they live in it. They have to walk in it. They have to live in it every day of the week, and it's up to the people Mount Nugent to say, what happens and what doesn't happen. Again, they're the taxpayer. They're the people who pays the taxes, and I do whatever I can to raise awareness of this, and hopefully, because again, it does kind of bully people around. There's as many companies to try and bully people around. But anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think, and make sure to check out the story. Leave the link in the description, and bye.